Hey everybody, we are actually in the eye wall of a slightly stronger Ada. It is unbelievable whipping here.
This old job is always causing stress.
I'm tucking the truck here perfectly.
All I ever do is work, I don't get no rest.
Man, I got some video
First
footage.
night is on the way.
Crazy. Let me see if I can get outside. Let me
Down
see if I
in
can.
trouble walk.
You just wouldn't believe how much rocket the truck is doing. Oh shit.
Oh, mid-drunk donkey IPA. Let that magic mango chase my blues away.
We're in the eye of Ada here in Key Largo.
Among my friends.
Tremendous
I
power
swear the page goes live.
coming in. Currently, I'm semi-protected here by my truck, so no worries. But semi-protected. I don't want to get the camera wet, but man, the trees beside me are completely sideways. I'm not sure what the gusts are, but definitely this is the tropical storm. I think we're seeing a little higher gusts. So I got the back turned right now and trying to keep the camera from getting wet. We're in Key Largo. We're in the eye of Ada.
Hey, good morning, everybody. What's up? That video ended like my truck. It just stopped. Everybody liked the hat yesterday for Louis, so I found another one we did a couple years ago. I dressed them up like sheriffs. So this is Sheriff Buford T. Louis. It doesn't look that straight, buddy. What's going on here? Is that a little better? All right, what's up? It's Wednesday. What's up, everybody? This is Mike, obviously. Mike's Twitter page, and this is Louis. He was the first one to jump on my lap today. So that's the new deal. The dog that jumps on the lap first gets to be the dog of choice. So today you are the chosen one. So I hope everybody's doing well. It is our Daily Brew. We talk about the weather and everything else. Seeing some progress down on the Sanibel Island Bridge yesterday. That was goosebumps, huh? Seeing that convoy of linemen heading over that bridge. Oh my goodness. What an awesome sight. Slowly getting back to normal. At least the power is almost back to everybody down there. But we're going to talk weather. Whatever else pops up. We don't really have much going on in the tropics except for Karl, but that's heading south. And we got a cold front coming in. We got some storms this morning I'm going to talk about that are already brewing ahead of our cold front. So we'll talk about that. Speaking of the Ian, I ran across this tweet today, by the way. If you noticed, on almost every interview, Mr. Kevin Guthrie is standing there. And a lot of times he's the one giving the interviews on recovery efforts down there from Hurricane Ian. Well, do you remember Florida Division of Emergency Management reached out to us, and I was able to do a nice little 30-minute one-on-one with Mr. Guthrie before the storm. And now I see him on TV every day. So hats off to Guthrie there And I really appreciate them coming to our page, giving us even a little more credibility, obviously, when the state of Florida reaches out to do an interview on our page. So pretty cool, right? That was an awesome memory for us. And but if you remember that interview, now when you watch TV, you're going to be like, that's the dude that was on Mike's page, because he's the man. But I thought that was pretty neat. I thanked him today. All right, we'll put you down, Louie. You're getting heavy. All right, everybody say, I love you, Louie. Oh, look at this guy, man. He's just a man. He's a man. You good boy. All right, 32 degrees, Loretta Reed says. Holy moly, that's cold. Somebody already hates us? Good. There's a lot of places you can go. So anyway, yeah, I do remember that, Mikey. Back Charlie. I remember those things. They were everywhere. Mobile homes. That brings back a memory, yes. Do we have those now? Is that, I don't remember. I don't know. Who's at a base camp? Kristen? That's tough, I know. Base camps are something I never even heard of. Lodging Solutions is a huge supporter of our page, Bolton Holdings, and we really thank them a lot. And they brought a lot of awareness to me in post-storm recovery and what base camps are all about. Lodging Solutions rolls in with tents for thousands and thousands. They bring in bathrooms, showers, food, kitchens, linens. I mean, overnight they set up these base camps for all the linemen and first responders and anybody else that's showing up at a storm. And you don't think about that. Where the heck does everybody sleep? Where does everybody sleep? I mean, so huge industry that I didn't even know about. Storm services. All right, there you go. Well, good to have you watching. Yeah, bourbon. Hey, what's up, Windstorm Products? Hope everybody's stocking up on their supplies from you. All right, so I always start out the show giving a huge thanks to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, located in Florida. Big supporters of our page for the last 4 years, and they do a lot for me and the page, and really appreciate everybody there and what they've done for Floridians, for especially many, many years here. I think 83 years old now, 84, maybe 85. Heck, I don't even know. I got to do my homework. But they've been around a long time. Family owned and operated. So great company. We really appreciate their support. And it's almost time for the weekend. Here's what we got. Look at that sucker. That's Karl. Now, Karl, we saw yesterday bubbling away. Karl getting a little wind shear. Obviously, this is called wind shear. When we see all these clouds blowing off to the west to east. A lot of wind shear in the Gulf of Mexico. And everything's panning out as expected. There's a huge jet tied into that frontal system that's actually stopping our system from going any far north. It's a roadblock. Since we're on that trucker theme with convoys down at Sanibel Island, a convoy of linemen, we're going to stick to that theme. That's a roadblock. And Karl's turning around and has to go back down to Mexico. So roadblock ahead. I don't want to say zero chance, but I'll say 0.1% chance this goes north. But could be a problem for Mexico. A lot of rain, obviously, more mudslides. But Karl is not going to the Gulf, is not going towards Florida. So that's good news. But we are getting, look at this, getting a lot of moisture feeding in already from the outer outflow here. And we had some rain down in the Keys even this morning. Some of this outflow is getting sheared into the state and some into the southeast. So that's pretty cool to look at. I love looking at the satellite imagery, stuff like this. But you can see Karl down here spinning. The core of the system is way down south. And it's got a little window to develop still. It's not expected to make landfall until Friday, maybe Saturday morning. So it's got 2 more days over the water. Mississippi needs rain. I saw a report on the Mississippi River is low. Shelly met a Frenchie. Mike E., the beer is out of stock, man. That was a one run and done, I'm afraid. But it was a big run. We sold about 80 barrels, I heard, in the second. But I don't know. It wouldn't be. It just didn't happen. I don't know. We'll move on. We got a lot of opportunities out there. But it was a great run. Thank you to Big Storm Brewery. It was a lot of fun. But we'll see what tomorrow brings. Might have some things cooking. But anyway, so we got big storms brewing ahead of this frontal line we're going to talk about. But there's Karl. A couple more things on Karl real quick. There you go. It's going to go due south. Might see a little shift, maybe a little more to the south. Some of the models are actually a little more east of what the NHC is talking about. But there you go. It's dipping south. So there you go. There's our rain we're talking about. This is happening right now. We're getting some severe storm warnings. We're going to talk about that here in a second. Let's go back to Karl real quick. So let's get the spaghetti models. Your 12Z models just came out. And these are on tropicaltidbits.com. You can see the official line is way west of the latest run of spaghetti models. So probably going to see the NHC shift things a little bit more east. These are your ensemble plots with all your models. The official line is the black line, and it is way west of ensembles. So more than likely when 11 o'clock Eastern rolls around, they'll shift us a little bit more. And not expected landfall until maybe Friday into Saturday. So still has a little time to brew, but that's it. Nothing to worry about. Intensity models, keeping it around tropical storm. So that's it for now. But I still think we could have some sneaky development down there in the bay. You just never know. The farther south this thing goes, the more chance it might get away from some of that shear and have a little chance. Let's see what the H-Wharf says. We know we love the H-Wharf here, so let's take a look. The H-Wharf 990, doesn't really do much. Hovers around 1,000 millibars. So a lot of wind shear down there. So maybe no hurricane. Stephanie Stokes never found the beer. Oh, I know, man. What a shame. But ABC at least put it in 83 stores for us, so there was some for a while. Ian, can I track Ian, Alexis? I believe Ian's gone. Good morning from Dominican Republic, Terry. Hey, how you doing? All right, just catching up on comments. What's up, Harold? Joy from Sebastian. Craven said they're heading home. Man, I don't know how in the world. Check this out. This is unbelievable. The power outages are down to 4,000. There's more power outages in Virginia, Wisconsin, California, and Puerto Rico than there are in Florida right now. So did the linemen not do the kick butt job? I mean, come on, man. That's incredible. 4,000 people out without power right now. When you're looking at what we had just a couple weeks ago as far as that, devastation across the whole state of Florida as far as wind and flooding. And so one time it was 2.5 million were out of power, maybe more. But we're down. Virginia, Wisconsin, and California now have more power outages than the state of Florida. So good job to everybody that's working hard behind the scenes. And really, you can't even really tell. I mean, obviously Lee County, 2,600. Jacksonville. I mean, look, really, Tampa's got 153 out. So, man, we almost 100% recovery. That is phenomenal. That is amazing work. Amazing work. All right, so this just got posted here. Let me close some windows out. This just got posted right before we went live. This is from the Storm Prediction Center. Scattered strong development likely to continue in the mid-late morning with isolated storms posing a risk for even severe hail. So that's touching the Florida Panhandle. That's mainly Alabama and a little bit into Mississippi. We have a frontal line coming in. Here's what the radar looks like. So look at that. You can see it. We got some storms here brewing. This is slowly. It's kind of going. The flow is west to east, but the general motion is going to be south a little bit because of our front. But nonetheless, look at that. We got some storms coming in off the Gulf down into lower Louisiana. We got some down into Mississippi already. So yeah, it's stormy. So it could be stuff to watch. The Storm Prediction Center posted this also earlier today. We got a fresh update. Let me pull it up here. And there's your latest outlook. So yeah, could get some storms today. That's a frontal line approaching. Getting into cold front season, right? We haven't seen this. It's when we go through hurricane season, we don't see a lot of cold fronts, so we don't see a lot of Storm Prediction Center outlooks like this. But now that we got cold fronts coming back down, we'll start seeing squall lines and those setting up. So, but Valley Bauer, good morning. Sheldon, I agree. Mina Stone, yeah, that Puerto Rico has their power outage map on there also. What's up, Eric Trome? What's up, Slade? Good morning. Vivid's got a fresh cup of coffee. Juan had a 949 pressure over the boat during Ian. Holy moly. What's up, Katie Haley? Good morning. Good to see you, man. You got a cold front coming. Got my fire pit showing up. Bobo, I do track snow, man. We're gonna 869. Holy moly. Yeah, we do. We track weather all the time. I love it. I actually have a lot of cool weather snow maps on the page that I once hurricane season is almost done, I switched the page to winter mode, and I have some really cool graphics that show snow forecasts, frost freeze lines, wind chills. Cool stuff like that. So thank you, Timmy Morris. How are you doing? Northport got power back. Mindy, that's great. A lot of trees were down in the Northport area. I was surprised driving down Interstate 75. You could see north of the eye there was a lot of trees obviously blown east to west because of the counterclockwise flow. This system seemed like it had way more winds to the north. I'm curious on any post reports. This is Brian McNulty's site here, but I'm really curious on it seemed like the northwest eye wall was the most intense as far as winds go. Obviously the surge was bad down Fort Myers area, but it seemed like this heavy convection seemed like it was stronger to the north. The reason we went north, obviously, I didn't want to get stuck in the surge. I mean, you can hide from the wind. You got to run from the water. A lot of Mets said it. Paul Delgado stresses that a lot here in Tampa. It's so true. I mean, I posted that little video of me out there with the hat, and you got to understand where I was at. We were at that Dollar General, and there was a storage container kind of blocking some of the wind. And if you really look at that video, I wasn't standing in the heart of the winds, but I was protected. I mean, I could see there wasn't anything that could have came. I wasn't like there wasn't any debris. It was an open field, but the wind is the wind is damaging, yeah, but the water is the scary stuff. And we're hearing more and more stories of surge. I mean, it is Katrina-like surge stories of people being rescued on their roofs and having to bust through, attics and get on top and go to the second floor, go to the third floor. I mean, it's scary stuff. And we still have friends over in New Smyrna, Daytona Beach area that are still flooding, had 2-3 foot water in their house, and lots of people in New Smyrna Beach, south of Daytona, had really bad flooding that probably aren't being talked about. And Arcadia, holy cow, Arcadia was like a lake city, man. It was terrible. The Peace River. So yeah, it was a big storm. But let's talk about this cold front. Ronnie, thank you. Mike Soul, how's it going? I do Bible. Yeah, we're here every morning. Every morning. Every morning. I got 2 things open on my other thing. I can't get going here. Anyway, so Cozumel should be fine. Yep. All right, let's talk about this cold front and upcoming weather coming up. All right, so we know Karl's going south. So some of the rain maps, it's hard to really know depending on the final track, but we're going to see, unfortunately, some of those high end rains that you're typically going to see with any tropical system. Yeah, here's the latest Euro just to give you an idea. And if that's a 6Z here. We go to there you go. So we can pull this up and zoom in, but there's your hot spot. Unfortunately, we could have a foot plus of rain. There is some wind shear down there, so it might not be as organized system as far as rain goes, but obviously wherever this thing makes landfall, we're going to have heavy rain. So that's the big threat right now. All right, so let's take a look at our cold front coming down. I guess the best way to look at it here would be, oh boy, let's see. Storm Prediction Center tomorrow isn't really showing anything yet. Talking about possible tornadoes from New York, Central Virginia tomorrow. So yeah, that's tomorrow's Storm Prediction Center. We're not showing anything in the south. I had somebody asking about Carolinas. I was wondering about Florida. Might be too much instability to really have anything organized, but big storms possible tomorrow. We go to day 3 and it pretty much fizzles out. So today and tomorrow, the rains are coming, especially down in Florida tonight, the storms. So let's look at some of that future modeling here. I guess the first thing we'll do is look at the HRR, because we can look forward in 2 days here. And we can see exactly what the HRR is fixing to show. I guess we can look at the whole U.S. and see. All right, so 12Z's running now, but here's what we got. So this is kind of hard to see in your screen, but we got that big frontal line up here coming. There's a lot of instability out ahead of it. If you wonder why it's so warm and muggy and hot, that's always that fine line of knowing that a cold front's coming. That's where we get all this instability and storms. But you can see the initial line today, early afternoon, we're going to see some storms popping up here across the upper Gulf in Alabama. We're going to see storms possibly here along the East Coast, Georgia, South Carolina. This is this afternoon. Here's your main frontal line starting to set up here behind, and then we're going to keep an eye on this Gulf. I mentioned that a couple days ago. I'm not really sure what we're going to see, but there could be some stuff brewing in the Gulf that comes in and brings some storms across everybody. So here's the interesting thing. So here's tonight, 10 o'clock. Here's more of these storms moving east that were in Alabama. Now they're moving into Georgia and the Carolinas. We got this blob out in the Gulf tonight. This is 11 o'clock tonight. So we'll see, if any of this stuff can organize anything any stronger. The SPC is not showing anything strong here, so, but I'd still keep my eye on it. They're pretty hefty looking squall lines showing up here across Kentucky, southward through Tennessee late tonight. Now they do have Storm Prediction Center. I'm talking about down south. We do have Storm Prediction Center. In fact, let's zoom in on that a little closer. Let's see, more detailed. I think it's right here. There you go. So here's the latest. So we do have the big storms showing up, obviously, in the yellow and the green, but nothing for the Carolinas and nothing for the peninsula. But overnight will be interesting. Usually overnight things calm down a little bit, but this is today. There's going to be some storms, no doubt. This is today, Wednesday, brewing. This is tonight. But then as we get into tomorrow, this is 1 a.m. Look at this. I mean, it's going to be a rocky night. I've been watching this for a couple days now, and you can see the low way up here. Watch it. You can see it spinning. Isn't that cool? But there's our storms brewing overnight. So it could be a little interesting tonight through Georgia and South Carolina and into Florida even though the Storm Prediction Center isn't showing anything really here, but this is going to be PM overnight stuff tonight to watch. All right. Here's our big front line tomorrow, 4 a.m. setting up. And there you go. Here's tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, afternoon, man. So I'm watching it. I mean, it's going to get interesting. I'll be keeping my eyes glued. Obviously, here's that big low up north. We got a flood chance north here because tomorrow this low is going to actually bring in a lot of moisture to the northeast. But really curious about Florida and the southeast here. I wouldn't take my eye off it too much. Here, here's more. This is tonight into tomorrow morning. Just a lot of instability out there. And we could have some storms in the morning. This is 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So unfortunately, obviously, the folks that are dealing with Ian, you might want to let them know if they have tarps and they're putting tarps up, have them do it today, because tomorrow we could have some storms brewing late morning heading into the Florida West Coast. This is tomorrow. Interesting. So that's what we got. Look at that. Yeah. The whole peninsula getting rain tomorrow. Well, one good thing about having Mike's weather page, I could pick my nose on my own show. Tabletop Geek. Right now, Carolinas aren't showing up anything in the Storm Prediction Center. The storm's going to be later this afternoon in overnight hours. Could be losing some, daytime heating, and, things sometimes cool down a little bit at night and you lose some of that storms. But I'd still be watching tonight. I mean, here's, 4 a.m. Here's a big line going. I mean, look at that line right here. This is going through Montgomery all the way through the Smoky Mountains. This is 2 a.m. So it could get a little rocky. I'm telling you. This is midnight. Midnight in Montgomery. It's going to storm. Who's saying midnight in Montgomery? How long will it take somebody to say that? Tricia, thank you very much. Rich, glad to have you along. That's the, Shelly and I talk about the Daily Brew, and I don't know, it's fun to just get together and chit chat. And I do the YouTube videos now. I'm going to do one after this, more of a pronounced, dedicated little 5 to 10 minute video. I like doing those too, but I like the Daily Brew. There you go. Look at that. Jason, Sandy, Dawn, look at that. Look at that. We got 6 winners. Winner. Chicken dinner. We got a lot of country folks. You imagine if somebody just popped in right now and they just saw the chat and there's like 18 Alan Jacksons. You guys are awesome. I text Shelly last night. I'm like, oh my God, the Karens are out. When I did my redneck storm chaser, losing my mullet. Oh well, I get it. Yeehaw! All right, so there you go. Storms. Look at that. Is the big juicy mess tonight at midnight. I mean, that is midnight in Montgomery. We got storms everywhere. Now, of course, these type of models aren't 100%. It gives you an idea where the juice is at. Like it's hit or miss who's going to get it, when you're going to get it. But the fact is, the precipitable water is in play. I love looking at the precipitable water. You can see that. We can see this big dip. We're going to talk about temperatures next. Tropics are quiet. We're not going to. I'll go into some tropic stuff here in a little bit, for sure. There's nothing brewing to worry about, so that's good news. I am going to go put my tent back on my. My pops. So I lost the tent down in Irma. My big old canopy. It was in a tree. So it was only fitting that I tore up the canvas for Ian because it was getting kind of weak. But now I got to put the canvas back on. But I don't have a truck to put the boat back. So I have a boat out of water, literally. But I don't have anything to pull it with. My Chevy is like a rock. It's just sitting there. It ain't moving. All right, so here's the cool imagery of what's going on. This dry air is in brown. So I just got an email. Sorry, I get different alerts when different emails. We're doing a giveaway, by the way. Decks and Docks. That's with the email from Phil. We're picking up. They're doing a Yeti. I think it's a Yeti. It's a Yeti. It's a Yeti. Oh my God, it's a Yeti. So we're doing a giveaway from Decks and Docks with a free Yeti cooler. So we're taking some pictures of that. So that'll be fun. We love our supporters when they our companies. We do giveaways a lot. Furman's giving away a ton of generators. We got a cool Yeti giveaway we're going to be doing soon, right, just in time for Christmas. So, all right. So here's a cool map. I love this map. This is a water vapor map. And look at this, man. All right. So this is so awesome. Brown air is dry air. Brown air basically indicates a frontal line coming down, a big push of Arctic air. It's not really Arctic, not this time of year, but it is 50s. It'll feel Arctic to many. But watch this moisture. So here's Karl, right? We have such a strong jet down here. It's a subtropical jet stream, basically, a secondary jet stream that forms from the south. It's going to be pushing a lot of this moisture into Florida. And you can see this through tomorrow morning. So I'm going to this is through tomorrow morning, just like that. But we got this big old blast coming in from behind, and there it is. Whoosh! Isn't that awesome? This is a cool. Look at that! Oh my goodness, got some last minute convection. That's what I figured could happen. This is Friday morning. Look at the Euro really blowing up some convection down there in the southern bay of Campeche. Big old blow up. Look at that. Boom! Wow, crazy. But look at that frontal line. Whoosh! And that's why we're going to have heavy rains from the northeast, possible storms Thursday. Remember, they're talking about maybe even tornadoes here, Virginia area, north of North Carolina tomorrow. But that's what it looks like. And that is so awesome. So this brown air is dry air through the south. Little secondary line coming through Sunday. This showed up yesterday. We could have a little more rain in the upper Gulf on Sunday. That showed up yesterday real well. So we could have some Sunday, Monday rains for the upper Gulf. But as far as everybody, Saturday, Sunday, going to be beautiful. Especially Florida, man. Look at that big old dry air. It's going to be dry air. Dry, cool, and crispy air. Cold air. All right, so let's take a look at temps just for fun now. So I got my fire pit coming tomorrow. I'm so excited. Precipitation temperature. All right, so let's look at the big picture first. So low temperatures. So as our front approaches, this is tomorrow, 20s and 30s. So your light blues are 40s. Darker blues are kind of 50s, 40s. Red and pink's freezing. So boom, there you go. Friday morning, 50s for the panhandle, 30s for the mountains tomorrow. Saturday, our 50s are inching to Interstate 4 and beyond. Could have 50s in Jacksonville. Low 40s in the middle of Georgia. So there you go. There's a big blast Saturday morning. Sunday, kind of more the same, right? 50s all the way down to Tampa Bay area. Freezing temps. Looks like the coldest day is going to be tomorrow or Friday. We're going to have some 30s down into Ohio and Illinois and Kentucky. Here's that secondary front coming though. Here, check this out. Here's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Look at that. So, man, it is hanging around. This was really cold. Look at next Wednesday. We got 20s all the way into Alabama and Georgia. We got low 20s for Tennessee. 20s in the mountains. Probably teens in the mountains. You know, here's a little trick on my site. You probably didn't even know. Right here. Look at that. This thing right here, you can type in your local little forecast. And we're going to check out Gatlinburg. I am bound and determined to get sponsored by Margaritaville. That is my destination place. All I want is a room. Hey, Katie, great question about tornadoes. Tornadoes are a huge part of an eye wall with an intense hurricane such as Ian, and I don't know if they're all detectable or not, because the winds resemble that of tornadoes. I mean, you got to remember, we're talking 155 miles an hour sustained. That could be wind gusts of 180, 190. So basically the eye is a tornado, honestly. I don't know if they even separate the two. I don't know if they can. There's so many instances where I've heard there's just tornadoes inside. I mean, you're talking about 180, 90 mile an hour wind gusts. I mean, it's already a tornado. Oh, winter hats, Mark Hall. So next, oh, it doesn't go out that far yet. But anyway, it's gonna be cold. So I broke out my jorts yesterday, man. Emily made fun of me. How many of you all wore jean shorts? I stopped for a while. I was conscious about them, but I like them. I like them a lot. So there you go. All right, so we know the storm's coming. I showed the HRRRR. We got cold weather coming. We know that. Tropics-wise, let's talk about tropics. There's nothing showing up right now. That's good news. There's my buddy Reed Timmer. One day we'll hook up. So tropics. All right, so there's nothing brewing. That's good news. Here's a flood potential map, by the way, for tomorrow. Could be some flooding in the northeast. This also extends into Friday. So we got a lot of people watching up that way, so there could be some heavy rains. Okay, tropical waves. All right, so here's the deal. I always look at the water precipitable map. We can see if any waves are out there got any spinning. There's a bad little radar signature. So we got a wave here, but it's not doing anything. There's a wave here. It could have a little spin to it. There's another wave behind it. So this time of year, this is where we look at. So this is a couple days from now. But anytime, we get a wave or the tail of a front, sometimes they can, meet somewhere right here, let's say. This is where you watch this time of year. And it all comes down to timing. This front that met Karl obviously was more like a flat roadblock, and Karl had nowhere to go. Ian's front was a little more set up where it was pulling out of here, and we had a weakness that allowed it to turn. So a lot of it's just the fundamentals of the timing of fronts and if we have any tropical waves. I mean, so there's nothing brewing right now. It's good news. But why do we watch October? October, just climatology says, we're still in here till November. I mean, this general area, here to here, we've had systems in the past. Some of my graphics that I have here for that I put together for presentations shows some October storms. So the only point of telling you this is just we can have stuff in October. Just putting it out there. I mean, the good news is time is running out, and that's good. So this is a map that I do. A lot of people think Florida West Coast is protected from Indian mounds. There's a lot of articles on it. Ancient American Indian mounds protecting the Tampa Bay area. This is the color chart of the amount of strikes we've had over X amount of years. I'm not sure, but you can see that generally they start going down the farther north you go. Lee County and Charlotte County are in the higher range than Hillsborough County, and that number will go up now. But, here's a graphic from Bay News 9. We've had 4 notable hurricanes in October that came up. We've also had a lot of systems brew in the Caribbean here. Wilma, Mitch, Matthew, Michael, Opal, Hazel, and Sandy all formed in that Caribbean. So, that's why, and the reason you've got a couple things to talk about. Not a lot of people talking about this, but the MJO is moving into an enhanced phase. Green is enhanced. That usually means this is 21st of October right here. So another week away or so. That's 21st. And could end into November as an enhanced MJO stage, meaning that if anything tried to get going, it would have a favorable environment above as we enter November. And then, of course, the water temperatures are still warm. Still in the mid 80s, basically, 82, 83, 84, 85 range. And then, of course, we have the ocean heat content. So these are all fascinating things that help storms. And that Caribbean is still red, which is extremely warm water below the surface. Even in July, we don't have this much red and orange in the months of June and July because it takes a while for the water to really warm up down there. So that's why we watch the Caribbean this time of year. There's still a lot of warmth. You get a tropical wave come across, you get a little weakness, an old frontal boundary, anything tries to spin up. And sometimes the winds, just the characteristics of a front dipping in a little different angle can help things get going. So nothing brewing yet, though. That's good news, right? Let's look at some ensembles for long range. There were a few popping up on the Euro long range yesterday we saw, but nothing that, a couple from an old front. Pretty much the Atlantic's closed this time of year. You start worrying about things basically in this general area right here. But there is a couple frontal lines showing up. But, those are more fronts. They're not necessarily development. If you go to the tropical probability maps, you can see there's very little popping up. So that's good for now. Well, we know how things can change. But for now, good news, right? So everything's pumpkin spice. Katie Gregory, correct. Running out of time. Every day is another day closer to Christmas. Mike, good question on the upwelling. We might be able to see it. Usually you can start to see it on your weekly water temperatures. Hey, there you go. This is your anomaly map. You can kind of see it. See the blue, and this is your weekly anomaly map, and it's really cool along the coast. And as these cold fronts come down, it's going to start cooling things off even more. But you can kind of see it right here. Doesn't really show up on sea surface temperature yet, but a little bit. I mean, 83. But the anomaly shows it. So it didn't show up as much as I thought it would, actually. Well, this is 10.3 to 10.9. I wonder if we can go back. 9.26 to 10.2. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I've seen it more pronounced in the past as far as water temperatures cooling down. Didn't really see it with this one as much. Here's another one we can look at. Not really. Didn't really make a dent. Laura Marcus, thank you. Direco storms this year, Jake. We had one a few months ago, but I don't know if they're really possible as much in the wintertime. I don't know. Tracy from Marco Island. You guys get some surge down there, didn't you? I saw a lot of videos from Bonita Springs in Naples with some pretty bad surge. Oh, you know what? I had a birthday too, by the way. I feel bad. I don't know if it was yesterday or not. Somebody has to know this person. I just started figuring out that I have messages on Instagram. I didn't know that. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't know if maybe it was a request. I don't know. Somebody had a birthday they wanted to talk about, but I forgot. Oh, well. Darn it. 2 weeks ago. I don't even know when the heck it was. Let me see. Oh, well. I get so many messages on here. So if you ever message me on Instagram, I apologize because I didn't really realize I had so many messages. I'll try to find it. Bummer. Somebody said I could have parked at their house and went on their drone, or I could have droned on their house. Oh well. Sorry about that, whoever asked me. Anyway. All right. So, any more questions here? So, the river flooding was terrible, correct? Christmas shopping. Rocky Boulders, Christmas shopping. I got the Halloween lights up. I can't wait to show them off. Yeah. Maria, I know the dogs are snoring over there. They look cute, though. Hunter, he won't come. All right, any more questions? We can roll out of here. I got to slow these down. I start rambling on. There's really, what the heck. So we got cold front. I'm really curious. I'm going to post the HRRRRRRR model because it could be interesting here with some of these storms brewing into the southeast tonight, overnight. So it's going to be rainy tonight for sure. And then tomorrow morning we can see some storms along the Florida West Coast to watch out for. So it'll be really interesting to see if the Gulf can, what it's going to do here. I like to keep the weather nerds up. Matt's site here, it's an awesome site, but you can see lightning a little better on the these cells. Start to see if any of them have any power to them as they approach. But the Gulf's hot, so we're gonna have to watch for any surprise little systems that pop in overnight tonight. But that's what we got. Hey Beth, I haven't seen any Greg Thorpe, thank you buddy. I haven't seen any reports of wind speed yet. I'm sure they're out there, but Richard Reamer, what's up, buddy? Oh, you up in the mountains, Richard Reamer. My mom and dad are up there. They went on the Blue Ridge Parkway yesterday. They were so excited. Rick Taylor, you got rain coming, buddy. Sunday is going to be amazing. Saturday and Sunday for most. Dry air. I mean, you can look at some cool things here. Like, let's look at the humidity map. And you can look at it too on Tropical Tidbits has a good one here too. If you go click on humidity, look at that. Poof. That's Friday morning. Look at that. That's dry air, low humidity. It's like 10%. That's like 20% humidity Friday morning. Look at that. I mean, that is going to be a shocker. And that makes 59 feel like 30. if you're from Florida like me. My toes are cold thinking about it right now. So that's your humidity values for Friday. And then, of course, that extends Saturday and Sunday. There's a little bit of that secondary, another front coming down. This is Monday morning. So pretty much a pretty awesome weekend for most everybody that watches us in the coastal areas, at least. Like I said, we can see a little rain showers popping up here possibly Sunday ahead of this frontal line. But yeah, it's going to be crispy, cool weather. Isn't that great? Like, great? It's not going to be like cold weather, but it'll be, hopefully we'll see 57 or 59. Anyway, Emily, I might, I don't know. I have a few. I could do 2 or 3 a day. I got a couple of them planned, I think. But yeah, just shoot me an email, please. Susanna said she went to Fort Myers Beach. It was horrific. I can just only imagine. And like I said, it was more the surge. I mean, I'm sure they had wind damage, but surge was all that damage down there was from the surge. Remember, run from the water, hide from the wind. Richards and Gallenberg, they had a fire a couple days ago. Let me go to Twitter to show you what I retweeted earlier. There's something interesting I hadn't really been following. But there was a post here from Jonathan Erdman and talking about the Mississippi River. I'm not sure where this heck is. I don't even know where it's at. Tipton, Tennessee. But the rivers in Mississippi are way below normal in spots. Look at this. This is low stage, 7 foot. I don't know if that's possible. But anyway, Mississippi's low. Where the heck's this at? Where's let me see where that's at. I assume that's Tennessee. Carruth, Missouri. That's Missouri. So this is Tennessee Missouri line. Obviously, it's because Mississippi border. So this is where it's really low right here. The Mississippi. This little red dot right there. So very low water. That's not sure how big a news story that really is, but it sounds like it's a big news story. I don't know if that's actually like out of water. Is that possible? Osceola? Oh, nah, that's flood stage, but still, it's way below normal. But little tidbit, what's going on? All right, so let's see. David Beach. It's funny you say that because there's a lot of Disney character names with hurricanes. Oh, Mimi said there's 2,000 vessels backed up. Okay, well, there you go. Yeah, Richard got my new thing. Weekend looks good. Renee says we need it. Yes. Good morning, Ian Campbell. How's Jamaica doing, man? One day I'll make it down to Jamaica, man. Jamaica, man. I was not intended. I do have Bob Marley on my XM radio. And Julie's like, what are you listening to? She gets mad when I listen to salsa and Bob Marley radios. She's like, what are you doing? All right, any more things we yak about? Yeah, Valerie, I wasn't aware. The only problem is when I get wrapped up in hurricane season, I don't keep up with Richard Sanford. Good morning. Other weather. Welcome, Valerie Henderson. Appreciate that. Yeah, there is dust, Ian, by the way. The African dust is pretty strong right now, believe it or not. We have another big plume. Look at this. This one made it all the way to you almost. Here we go. Stop. Doody, 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 doody. All right, so this one is, there's a big old patch here in the Caribbean. It might make it to you if we go to the Fox Hurricane website here and look. As we go forward in time, we could have some reaching ya. This would be on Friday. So yeah, African dust hitting Jamaica and the Caymans. John, if you're watching. So Jamaica Mon. Yep. That'd be like, is that insulting? Like when I see a Canadian, the first thing I do is say A. Who doesn't? Hey, I'm from Canada. I'm from Canada, and the first thing I say is A. I'm sure y'all get tired of that. David, it's been a very active year with the dust, to tell you the truth. I don't know. Trinidad, lots of rain. Emily, yeah, it's good to have you from Trinidad. That's amazing. I follow a Trinidad weather station on Twitter, and yeah, you had a lot of rain from Julia before it became Julia. I saw that. A lot of flooding down there. And you do have one right now, actually. This one's riding a little low for you right now. Look at that. It's not organized or anything, but it's hovering right over you guys. There is another wave coming in behind it. We'll see if it makes its way over there. But yeah, Trinidad. This is Trinidad right here, Tobago. The ABC Islands. I'm learning so much about geography. Funniest thing, one time, Emily or Julie, I don't know how the story was, but something about somebody we knew that was going to Washington football game, and they live like right there. And she said, well, that's a long way to drive. They lived in like Maryland or something like that. And she thought Washington Redskins played the state. Washington. Eric, I'm not going to mess with your Disney trip, man. You got to ride It's a Small World after all. That song will stick in your head for an eternity. You wait 2 hours in line to do a 5-minute It's a Small World. Leela from Louisiana. Yeah, it's Louisiana. Luckily, you guys have been a little slow this year. I do use the Cuba radar, Ian. I do. It is pretty good. It picks up you guys pretty close. David Bearhill, what's going on there in Carolina? The end of hurricane season, David. Well, honestly, there's been a hurricane in January before, believe it or not. They just history, you know. They picked November 30th. I mean, that's a little deep, you know. But if you look at climatology, you can see just, you know, here's May 1st to May 10th. This is up to 2015. There were some, I think, a few more here later season. You know, and I should have took that new car warranty, by the way. We used to joke about the phone calls. Well, here's May 1st. So you can just see the gradual progression here of tropical activity as we get through May. You know, here's June. Just look at the little red dots. You know, just things heat up. A lot of it's water temperature related more than anything. August, you know, August 3rd. I mean, look at it. Look at this activity. Here's September 1st. I mean, holy moly, right? September, then, you know, October 1st through the 10th. You know, it's not bad. Look at October 11th through the 20th. Look at this. Still quite a few storms over history have formed October 11th through the 20th. So, you know, season's not over yet. It's just... And then October 21st through 31st, there's been quite a few. And then November, we start to see it, you know, wane down a little bit. And then, so, yeah. There's more November 21st and 30th. But look, most of these never hit land. Like, look at this. One system here crossed through Florida. Everything else was out here in the open Atlantic. So as far as landfall goes, it's very, very, very rare. I mean, November 11th through 20th, the 3 landfalls were Florida. 21st through 30th, landfall was Florida. So you get the idea. Here's 21st through 31st. A lot of them was Florida. We only really had one that was upper Gulf. But one, you know, so everything bends with these cold fronts. Right? Erica's my dog. The Saharan dust plumes, Todd, it's just basically the winds, upper or lower level winds go across that Saharan desert, and they're strong. Those winds are strong across the Atlantic. You can see it here. A lot of that's Bermuda High, but you can just see these lower level winds here. Well, 700 maybe, 700 layer, but here they are. I mean, they're mid-level winds, low-level winds. They just blow across the Atlantic and basically bring the dust with it. Dusty, dry air, right? It's an amazing phenomenon. A lot of theory at the start of the year. Remember how it started out kind of weird? Saw a really good article. Let's say that high pressure usually sets up here. Well, this year it might have been a little bit more to the northeast, which in turn pushed a little more dust that we normally would have seen maybe farther south because the high was a little to the north, and this made a little more dustier main development region this year. So simple to think that, right? A little higher, you know, a little more higher pressure or high, put a little more dust in the main development region. So that's a good theory for sure. Upper level winds right now, the reason this thing isn't going anywhere, by the way, if you're really curious, upper steering map, you can see there's a blocking low. It's going to have a little brief window going north, and then this subtropical jet is going to actually kick in and basically kind of do that, and it just, you know, stops any chance this thing moves. And we got, you know, some winds over here help push it down. So steering flow is not the same as it was with Ian. You can see that subtropical jet really show up here. Well, you can see it a few different ways. Let's see if it's on the animated one here. There's a good link that I have here, Jetstream Forecast. This is on EldoraWeather.com, and you can see this secondary jet building in across the south. Kind of hard to see on that one, I guess, but another one I like to use is this one. Let's look at this here. Upper level winds from the Euro, and we can take a look at your wind shear mean, and this is kind of a good one. Here is Friday morning. So there you go. This is Friday morning. This is your upper level winds. You can see that secondary jet, and it just pretty much blocks anything from lifting up into the Gulf. Why doesn't it go east? That I don't know. I know we have upper level to the west here, which we can see. There it is. Let's see here. Where are we at? Let's do 500. And you can see that up mid-level system here. Well, that's actually a high. What am I doing? Well, we can make an H out of it. So some of these steering currents are coming in from the west, which are ultimately going to push our system back down. So this is stronger than anything over here, and that ends up upper level winds kick it back south again, steering it. Just like a ping pong ball. It's like one of those ice hockey games where you ding 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 ding, and you got a wall here, and wall here, and really the only way to go is down. That's pretty much it. Nothing scientific about that. There's no opening to escape like we saw with Ian. So I've been confident with that, at least with everything I've seen. So that subtropical jet really blocks any movement north. So anyway, the coolest ride for me, man, I don't know if it's Disney or Epcot. It's that one where you're soaring, like where you're flying. It almost gets you sick, man, when it zips around. I like that. Oh, we got a adult dating site on YouTube. How about that? We get spam. Anything else we can quick? Beach Mountain. Look at that. Petra Brooks. How about that? Is it going to be snow anytime soon? Little too early for snow. Epcot, Tamara. Okay. Southwest Florida's closed. I agree. We got a roadblock for Florida. All right. Well, that's that. So we got storms to watch today. Be an interesting day, right? We got storms brewing right now. Check it out. This is we got a little storms out there here we got to worry about. This is live radar. So there you go. We got a lot of people watching, I'm sure. It's going to be a stormy day. Big question is going to be overnight. What do we get here in the peninsula and Carolinas and Georgia? So I'm going to post the HRR here in a second. Show that possibility. We get some incoming juice from Karl combining with that frontal boundary. Could be some little surprise storms here and there. So, all right. Cool. Harold, you get the snow first before us. But I do love snow. We can look at the snow map just for fun. See if anything's showing up. Take a looky. Here we go. Let's look at snow. Let's look at all the models. Of course, it's not up yet. 19Z up yet? It's not up yet. How about total? What the heck? Come on. She's trying. Try again. There we go. That's not even the snowfall maps are sleeping. Just like the GFS on tropical development, it's very overactive with snowfall. We'll see how it does this year, but I don't think the Euro doesn't have snowfall, though, does it? Oh, we'll look at it anyways. What the heck? All right, so I know next week there was supposed to be. Look at that. Maybe in the Pennsylvania, the first part of the week. But slowly inching down. All right. Emily loves snow. I love snow chasing. Florida snow. I was in Florida snow. Do you remember that? Fox 13 aired it. It was great. Whew. Woke up a little tired today. All right, so last but not least, we're going to talk about our cruise. We got another cabin booked. Spring Breakers in Florida. This is it. If you like the cruise, you got to join our Mike's Weather Page cruise. Leaves out on Monday, comes back on a Friday. We're doing a hurricane preparedness seminar on the ship, and we're having a pre-cruise party Sunday on land. That'll be available to Brew Crew members also, so stay tuned for that if you live in the South and want to come hang out with some fellow Brew Crew subscribers to our page. A little party we're going to throw together with some food and fun for y'all. Just a thanks for supporting us. That'll be the Sunday before we set sail. A lot of activities, free giveaways. It's going to be a lot of fun. And the good news we just found out, the rates that we got are almost half the price of regular rates right now because everything's been going up. But we locked in our rates. We got 100 cabins locked. We got lucky, and we still got about a month or so, 6 weeks before we have to, give them back. So don't wait. You can check it all out on the page there. We hope to see you. It'll be a lot of fun. And families are definitely welcome. I bring my kids. Shelly brings her kids, and Phil's coming. He's bringing his kids. So there you go. Family cruise, man. It'll be memories of a lifetime, guaranteed. Cannot wait for that, for sure. So, all right, we'll see you guys tomorrow, Thursday. We'll see what kind of storms we get. Kind of sneaky. I'm a little curious. So we'll keep an eye on the weather today and see what this Karl's going to bring to the southeast tonight. So, all right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.